All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to the stew. We've got another football topic today. And as we get into the start of the season, the biggest name right now, I think, in football, the biggest news in football is how are the New Look Jets going to be this year with Aaron Rodgers at the helm? Before I hand it off to you, I am going to read a couple of his stats from last year. So 3,600, almost 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, which is actually only the third time in his career that he's had triple or double digit interceptions. The other two times were in 2008 and 2010. So a bit of a higher year in interceptions than what you usually see from Aaron Rodgers last year. And the Jets had a 7-10 record from last year. So I'll ask you, how much better do you think having this guy at QB makes this team? How many wins do you see them going? How far do you see them going into the playoffs if they do get into the playoffs?
Okay, well, like you said, the Jets went 7-10, they went 7-10 last year, and I think A-Rod, I think he might be worth 3 wins, dude. Honestly, because think about it, the Jets had not a good quarterback play last year. So I think plus with the added talent they got on both sides of the ball, plus the draft, I think that they can go 11-6 this year. I think it'll be a tough 11-6, maybe 10-7. But if they get it working, they're working together really good. I don't think 11-6 is too insane. In terms of playoffs, they are in a tough division with the Bills, and who else they got in there?
That's Bills, Dolphins, and the Patriots in their division.
Yeah, that's not an easy division. Miami's better than them right now, and the Bills. But going into the season, you never know what happens. Players get injured all the time. You just don't know. So I think the Jets can make it to the playoffs this year for sure. It might be a tough to get there, but I think they could get there. In terms of playoff success, I can't see them getting past, the semis. I just can't. There's too much talent. Maybe if A-Rod was there for 2 years, they had a lot of young guys that are really good coming up. So if Aaron Rodgers had gone there last year and then they played a whole season, they go into this year again, I think that they could, go a little deeper in the playoffs. But we'll just have to see. What do you think?
So I'm going to give you a hot take.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a real hot take. I think they get 12 wins this year. I'm gonna go for 12 wins, and obviously the Dolphins and the Bills are both the two kind of crazy teams to watch in that division too that they're gonna be battling with. But really, depending on Tua's health, they could still be giving the Dolphins a run for their money this year, and the Bills as well. I don't think that's a crazy matchup right now at this point, just because the Jets had a really good defense even last year. So just that alone, and having who they've got at quarterback now, I think 12 wins it's a hot take for sure, but that's going to be my guess if you had to peg me on it. I don't think they'll get a playoff win. If they end up getting 12 wins, they're going to end up making the playoffs. But I don't think they'll win that playoff game. And that's going off of Aaron Rodgers' previous inability to kind of perform in the playoffs these past 5-6 years at this point. It's been a bit of a run.
Decade.
There you go. Yeah. So if they make it to the playoffs, I think that first game is going to be a quote unquote upset, because they probably should really win it depending on whoever it is that they go up against. But I don't think they'll wrap it up with a postseason win this year. Definitely something next year after they get this under their belt. They all get a little bit more time to kind of get acclimated to each other and whatnot. But that's going to be my hot take. 12 wins, but no playoff win at all.
I could see it. I think if they're a wild card team, I don't see why they couldn't pull out a wild card win. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win a playoff game. That's for sure. I think if they get 12 wins, though, I think that you're underestimating how deep they could go in the playoffs. If they're that good, I think that they could go a little deeper than 0 playoff wins, but we'll just have to see. But also, oh, sorry, what were you going to
say? So you tell me then, if they get, I know you said 11, but if they get 12 wins, Do you think they at least get one, maybe two playoff wins?
I think with 10 or 11 wins, I think they still get a playoff win or two. If they get 12 wins, I'm way more confident saying that I think they could get 2 wins. But it is a younger team. Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. I would not be shocked if they get 0 wins. But I think personally that they can pull out a playoff win. Also, a lot of people have mentioned Aaron Rodgers has never had a defense as good as the Jets' current defense. So a lot of people don't know what to expect. And they got kind of a loaded offense a little bit. I mean, not loaded, but they got a good offense and they're getting better. I mean, their defense is really their highlight right now, and they just added one of the best quarterbacks on the other side. So I don't know, man. They might shock some people this year, or they're just gonna be the Jets.
They were an extremely young defensive side of the ball team last year, and they were 4th in allowed points per game in the league at 18.6 allowed points per game.
And they only got 7 wins. That's what I'm saying. Like, Aaron Rodgers can go get you a 30 ball pretty easy.
That's why I think going from 7-10 to what would that be, 12-5 next year. I don't think that's a crazy ask. It's gonna sound like a hot take because you're asking them to get another 5 wins just from getting a quarterback. But when you really think about how their team was put together and all the additions that they got to bring in Aaron Rodgers, all of his whole wish list that they had to put together for him to even come to the Jets.
Yeah, they brought in Nathaniel Hackett, and whenever Nathaniel Hackett is around, for whatever reason, Aaron Rodgers is in bliss. He won his last 2 MVPs with Nathaniel Hackett as the OC. So, I mean, I think they did a lot of good things. They also brought in one of his favorite receivers, Lazard. I think they're doing a lot to try to make this team win now. So, we'll see.
They still managed 7 wins, but they were 29th in points per game last year, almost bottom of the barrel, 25th in rushing yards per game last year, and 14th in pass yards per game last. So, like, really, unless Aaron Rodgers just gets beat to death by Father Time this year, and figuratively beat to death, I would really like to see Aaron Rodgers play a couple more seasons and be alive for a little longer than just this season. But just looking at how kind of poorly rated they were offensively last year and how much better they've gotten over the offseason, like, I really think they're going to be a big problem. And then the Bills and the Dolphins didn't really get incredibly better going into this season now. Like, maybe you get Von Miller back on the Bills and you've hopefully got Tua for a whole healthy season this year, which could lead you to some extra wins there. But besides that, none of the other 3 teams in their division were doing anything to really push the needle like the Jets did. So that's why I'm so hot on them this year.
Yeah, I agree. They didn't really make big offseason plays, but they already have what they need. I mean, Miami just needs Tua to not get knocked out. And, I mean, Waddle was a stud last year. He's only going to get better. They still have Tyreek Hill. Like, Miami's offense is one of the scariest in the NFL, period. The Bills are just great overall. And you said Von Miller, that's their best player on the other side.
He was leading their defense last year. But
he was out for a while.
But at the same time, if he even comes back this year, how much do you really expect him to stay healthy for them to even get into the postseason? Even the year where he won his chip with the Rams, I'm pretty sure he was hurt for a portion of that year still and got lucky enough to be around at the time that they were making their big playoff run. So
yeah, the only thing that matters is Von Miller being healthy for the playoffs. I don't care about the regular season. The Bills are going to do their thing. They're going to win their division. Miami might, but I doubt it. Bills are going to win the division. Well, the Jets are on the... I don't know, man. It's going to be fun. This season's going to be so fun.
Their division is really tough, but at the same time, the Jets, like, really... And they obviously felt the same way, that they were just a quarterback away from being the Jets to actually being a really good football team. So because of that, because of their kind of thinking and doing what they had to do to bring in Aaron Rodgers, I think they're about to really push the needle and make a big turn this year.
I agree. And with that, I guess that's the end of the video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you would like. Leave a comment. Comment down below what y'all think is going to happen this season in the NFL. Do y'all think the Jets are really going to be that much better? Let us know.
Drop y'all's predictions for the Jets record, because I'm curious to see how many other people think 10, 11, 12 wins is going to be their run for this year. So drop y'all's comments down below, and maybe we might even show a video reacting to some of them after the season, seeing how many of you guys hit the mark, seeing if we hit the mark maybe or not. But